Banshees Return, the hidden threat of emergency vehicles. Why did you die? Every year, 50,000 women die at the hands of those close to them, 80% of whom are male. While wars claim 78,000 lives annually, the war against women rages quietly in the shadows. These deaths don't happen in combat zones, they don't make headlines. Instead, they occur silently in our cities, hidden behind the veil of natural causes. But beneath this surface lies a more disturbing truth. Women are caught in a battle fought with machines, and the next weapon in this silent war is the emergency vehicle. In major cities, 10,000 women die every year from what appears to be random heart attacks. But these deaths are no accident. They are the result of a carefully concealed assault, one that uses the powerful systems of emergency vehicles to manipulate the human nervous system, triggering heart attacks and other life-threatening conditions. Emergency vehicles, the silent assassins. Ambulances, fire trucks, and police vehicles are ubiquitous in urban areas. Their sirens wail constantly, signaling emergencies and crises in real time. But these loud, shrill sounds are more than just warnings, they are an invisible weapon. The technology behind the sirens, combined with the powerful engines of these vehicles, creates an ideal environment for triggering patent #US 6017302A. This technology emits low-frequency sound waves and electromagnetic pulses that target the nervous system. The high-pitched sound waves from the sirens, when combined with the constant hum of engine alternators and fans, can cause serious disruption in the human body. The effects of these sound waves are particularly dangerous for women, as they are more vulnerable to neurological disruptions. The damage is often mistaken for heart failure, but the real cause is a deliberate and invisible attack on the body's electrical systems. Case study: Maria Gonzalez. Maria Gonzalez, 42, lived in a bustling part of the city near a busy hospital district. As a nurse, she worked long hours, often witnessing firsthand the devastating effects of medical emergencies. She was no stranger to the sound of sirens. They were a constant presence in her daily life, whether it was the blaring sirens of an ambulance rushing by her apartment or the distant sound of fire trucks and police vehicles patrolling the streets. Maria thought little of it, until she began to feel the effects on her own body. It started with headaches. She would often feel dizzy when a siren passed by, especially if it was close or the sound was prolonged. At first, she attributed it to the stress of her job. But the symptoms grew worse. Her heart began to race uncontrollably when an emergency vehicle passed, and she would feel her chest tighten, as though an invisible hand was gripping her heart. The dizziness turned into a constant feeling of imbalance, and she began to have trouble sleeping. One evening, after a particularly loud siren passed by her window, Maria collapsed in her apartment. Her roommate, hearing the sound of her fall, rushed to her side and called for an ambulance. But when the paramedics arrived, Maria was already dead. The cause of death was listed as a heart attack, though Maria had no history of heart disease. She was young, active, and healthy. Her friends and family couldn't understand what had happened. As they looked into her death, they discovered that several other women in the neighborhood had died under similar circumstances. They, too, had experienced sudden, unexplained heart attacks. All of them had lived near emergency vehicle routes, where sirens and loud engines were a constant presence. The connection was too strong to ignore. An investigator, following a trail of similar deaths, uncovered the startling truth: the sound waves and electromagnetic fields emitted by emergency vehicles were causing these deaths. The low-frequency vibrations, combined with the powerful engines, were triggering neurological failures in the victims' bodies. The victims, mostly women, had been caught in the invisible crossfire of this silent war. The stealthy weapon of emergency vehicles. Emergency vehicles, with their constant sirens and engine noise, are a critical part of urban infrastructure. But these machines are also part of a larger, more sinister system. The very technologies used to save lives are now being used to destroy them. The sound waves emitted by sirens, combined with the low-frequency hum of engines, are capable of interfering with the human body's electrical system, triggering catastrophic failures in the heart and nervous system. The perpetrators of this invisible attack are the operators of these vehicles, ambulance drivers, firemen, and police officers, who are often unaware of the harm their vehicles are causing. But the larger force behind this attack is the industries that maintain and operate these emergency vehicles. These companies and organizations are aware of the dangers posed by the sound waves and electromagnetic fields, but they continue to use them without taking precautions to protect the public. The pattern of concealment. As with other machines used in this war against women, emergency vehicles leave no clear evidence of their involvement. The deaths are ruled as heart attacks or other natural causes, and the connection to the sirens is dismissed as coincidence. But the pattern is undeniable. Women living near high-traffic emergency routes or hospital districts are dying in greater numbers. And these deaths, often sudden and without warning, are being chalked up to unexplained causes. It is time to ask the difficult questions: how many more women must die before we recognize the true cause of these mysterious deaths? How long will it take before we acknowledge that the war against women is being fought with machines, and that these machines are in plain sight?